Today we're talking about the CaHRtenna Artemis V1. This is a 40 through 10 end-fed half wave. There's room for your 49:1 transformer right there, pow. And there is room for some extra hardware. It is designed to be portable, made out of this ridiculously strong nylon type material, and portable was the name of the game when we created this. Today I'm going to show you how to put the hardware on. These are currently 832 screws, and we're going to put these on. This one is for the landing pad for the toroid and the connecting lug for the antenna element. It will thread into the nylon and hold itself in place. Don't over tighten it or you'll strip out the threads. It's not designed to be torqued to maximum spec. It's just designed to hold a screw in place. So, don't worry about it too much. The other one, we've got slated to go right down here for your counterpoise. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to screw that one in right there. And then when you are ready to put your wing nuts on, they go on as easy as pie. Ta-da! Now you've got wing nuts and screw hardware ready to land your antenna. The next thing you're going to need is this BNC connector here. And there's a little trick to putting the BNC connector on. It needs to slide into the hole and it'll go in really easy. And then we'll put this lock washer on. And then we'll put the ground lug on. As long as it's pointing in that direction, so it's closer to the counterpoise lug, it will be great. And we want to get this started up here. And as you tighten it down, that ground lug's going to walk on you, but that's fine because we can move it again. To make this easier for you to get a good connection onto, we can put a BNC connector on it, and that will give us something to hold on to while we tighten down. And then your BNC comes right back off, and you are good to go. So the only tools you're going to need are some type of wrench device, some type of #2 Phillips head screwdriver, and your BNC adapter or a piece of coax to give you a better purchase over there. Honestly, this wasn't that big of a deal. I probably could have done it without that. But the last thing that you want to do, this is a big no-no, do not take a pair of needle nose pliers and grab onto the BNC connector, because you will deform this BNC connector in a minute, in a second, in a hurry, fast. There you go. That is the mounting hardware done. Okay, so now we're going to take and put the 49:1 transformer, the unun, onto the winder. And while we have this thing disconnected from the frame, I want to take a second to scrape off the enamel from the enamel wire. And once we get that taken off, then the electrical connection will work a lot better, don't you think? You can use a razor knife, a Stanley knife, you can use sandpaper, you can use a Dremel tool, you can use whatever you happen to have handy. This one just is probably easier to get done when you are closer to the toroid than when it is on the frame. Next thing I want to do is get this thing centered up so that it lines up with our BNC connector, and it should almost fit inside. And then from there, I want to plug in the zip ties to hold this core in place. So through the center, and then out through that hole on the side that it is nearest to. And then we're going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to be a little extra careful to make sure that my zip tie ends land the way I want them to. And I also want to make sure I'm not grabbing this central wire here. You want to make sure that this piece here is down towards the frame. And now, if you'd like, you can get out your needle nose pliers and cinch that up good and tight. And then you can get out your flush cutters and cut it flush. Probably a good idea to have eye protection on as they shoot across the room on you. All right, so now we got that on, and we got that on. What I want to do is get my soldering iron out, get it up to temperature, and I want to tack down this lead right here before I forget. And I don't think any way that you do this is going to make this solder job look good because of the nature of the beast. It's going to get even worse when we add on the capacitor. Okay, so we've got this piece here soldered on. Now we want to get this piece here connected with a ring terminal so that we can land it over there. So I'm going to give myself a decent amount of wire to make that happen. Because you can always cut more off, but it's going to be really a pain in the butt to add some back. Get your favorite pair of crimpers out. We're going to crimp, and then I'm also going to solder this connection on because I am a firm believer in the school of crimping and soldering. That looks like that will fit just fine. Always better to check before you do your crimping than after. I needed to do that one a little bit off camera for strength. And then when I heat this up with the soldering iron, it's actually going to finish the electrical connection, and it's going to reshape that pretty ugly looking ring terminal that we put on there. See how that ring terminal just went right back to shape? We're going to let that cool down a bit before we touch it. And we're going to go over here and we're going to do some similar treatment to this. I am going to cut this. I'm going to cut just one of these wires off, not both of them. Because I'm going to need one to go down the rest of the way and mate up with my ground lug, my counterpoise lug. So I cut the end of the loop open and I cut a piece off about halfway up there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to scrape off some insulation from this one and from this one here. So that way that I can get a good solder connection between the two of them. And then I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to put it through the hole on the ground lug. Just like so. All right, and now hopefully we've gotten enough of the enamel off of the wire to make this work. All right, and I just spent some extra time there just in case, that's still hot, just in case the enamel didn't come off all the way. So now what I'm going to do is that ground lug. And while I'm waiting for that wire to cool off, let's put this one here on. All right, that one's on good enough for now. That wire's now cool enough to touch. So I'm going to do the same thing with my next ring terminal. About that much off. Get my scraper back. And as soon as that one cools down to the touch, you can land it on its mounting stud. I'm going to be impatient and try it with my pliers. We now have the toroid core installed with the two zip ties. We've got the two landing lugs on, and we have all of our connections soldered in place for this part of the process. The tools that you needed were a pair of crimpers, a pair of needle nose pliers, maybe if that's your jam, a way to scrape the enamel off of the enamel wire. I used a Stanley knife. You can use a Dremel motor tool or a piece of sandpaper or a pocket knife or whatever suits you. And a pair of flush cutters in order to get it cut flush as you're putting on your zip ties and whatnot. That way these things aren't so sharp. And of course, solder and a soldering iron. It is capacitor time. The capacitor needs to be connected between the ground lug and the center pin, and I want to do this in such a way that it's going to lay flat. I'm going to start off with it in the laying flat type of position and bend these legs out so that it stays in the laying flat type position. And there's already plenty of solder here from the last time we did this job, so I'm just going to try and melt this into the existing solder. All right, there is one part done. There's two parts done. Get my flush cutters out. And we'll trim off the excess. And now we're good to go with that. So for this one you needed something so you didn't burn your fingers, a flush cutter, and a soldering iron. Didn't even need any additional solder on here. And finally, let's check our work. I have my beeper set to beep mode, and it beeps. Good. Now I want to make sure that I have a connection from the antenna lug to the center pin, and I do. I want to make sure I have a connection from the shield to the counterpoise lug, and I do. And then because of the magic of the way this whole thing works, they will have continuity to each other, which means that your shield and your center is connected. And in case you couldn't see that in all these winds of wire going around, they're all part of the same wire doing some of your magic there for you. And it works. Now we need to get some wire on it and get it tuned.